I think that, the biggest difference between my dad and me is that he's a lot better. I mean, he's forgotten more about writing than I'm ever going to know. I'm completely blown away, not just by the quantity of work he's been able to do, but that he's been able to maintain the same level of quality, across 3 decades. And, I'd be happy to have 5 or 6 novels, anywhere near as good as, the 30 or so, the 40 or so he's had. That it's not, the definition of an unpublished writer is a writer who only writes when he's inspired. If a guy had a job building houses and only hung drywall when he felt inspired to hang drywall, he wouldn't work very much, no one would hire him. You really have to be ready to grind it out 6 hours a day and then leave your work at the desk and go on and have your family and have a life away from your work. And sometimes the days you feel least like working are the days when you'll get make the most forward motion in a story. So having a good work ethic, I think my dad and my mom both set a really good work ethic and an example of a good, solid work ethic for me. And also you have to have the confidence that you can go into a room alone for 5 or 6 hours a day and just listen to the voices in your head, and that somehow a month or 3 months or a year or 5 years later, all that time spent alone will actually add up to something that's meaningful, that will, hopefully make you a paycheck and also hopefully make some people happy. But Ramsey's a great writer, and, one thing that really marks England out is it's always had a thriving community of horror and fantasy writers, a very passionate community of publishers, people who are willing to take a chance on new writers. And, Ramsey, I don't know how many introductions he's written for new writers and how many new writers he's helped support. That's one of the other things about England is, I think in the minds of most English readers, horror is not, and dark fantasy is not a step down from other forms of literature. That there's a long tradition of blending genres, and M.R. James, great English writer of ghost stories, is considered a literary writer here. And in America, the divisions are much more marked.